again, I repeat myself, beautiful day, somber battlefield, amazing setting. I couldn't imagine being transported back to that time, knowing that my job is to go over there and pretty much kill my brother.
What's good, y'all?
What's going on, guys?
We're coming at you from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
What?
Where are we?
Gettysburg. We're in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Not just Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, but the battlefield.
The battlefield. Yes, that's right. That's what I meant to say.
It's very confusing. We're in Gettysburg, and we're in Gettysburg, they didn't get their naming right. It's like they could have named the battle something completely different, but they didn't. They named it Gettysburg after the town. Cool. But we're in Gettysburg.
Yes. And what are we doing today in Gettysburg?
We're going to be taking you on a tour of the battlefield.
Good old piece of American history that needs to not be forgotten.
Yes.
And you've been wanting to do this for quite some time now.
Dude, I wanted to take the channel outside for a long time.
Yeah.
It's an important piece of American history, and it's close. It's close to me. It's 40 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're here. The people that don't understand how much history is around us on the East Coast, it's nuts.
Oh, 100%.
We're so close to a lot of important things that define American history.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a series on your channel, right?
Oh, for sure. Because we're definitely within a stone's throw of major things.
Oh, yeah.
That have shaped this country, for sure.
Can't wait for the rest of them.
Man.
What should they do if they want to see the rest of those coming up?
Ooh, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Make sure you also follow this genius right here on his journey, on his channels.
All of them going to be in the description.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Make sure you hit that description. I'm excited to get some original content and some educational type content.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Never any qualms about either of those things.
Nope.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Let's take you through Gettysburg.
Later, guys.
Look at all the little kidney cannibals and mustables in the tree.
Yeah, look at that.
The most popular rifle during the American Civil War was the Springfield Model 1861, a 58 caliber weapon with a 40-inch barrel. It was loaded with gunpowder through the tip of the barrel and fired with a mini ball. An experienced soldier could fire up to 3 rounds per minute. But there was a lot more different types of weapons that were used, as you can see in these pictures. Pretty much any farmer anywhere that was enlisted grabbed his or her preferred weapon of choice to fight in whatever side they fought on. Here you have a traditional uniformed Confederate soldier in the gray, and right next to him is a traditionally uniformed Union soldier in the blue.
If you want more information on this park and more American national parks, visit nps.gov. At this point, we started our excursion out to the rest of Gettysburg National Park. We were trying to read the map and we got a little confused at first, but we eventually got our bearings.
It was kind of daunting because long gone are the days of people navigating by paper map since the form of cell phones. So it was a new experience.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they didn't fight the battle in a straight line.
Those bastards.
Yeah, they just jumped around the map, apparently. They didn't have this map. It would have made the battle so much more conducive.
Right. Now, for anybody that's going to take this, we recommend you set aside at least 3 or 4 hours to do this. We did quite a condensed version, but
yes,
this is kind of a whet your appetite edition of this tour.
Yes. Named after James Geddes.
Yes.
One of the first settlers.
That's right.
It's per that sign that we just passed. This would really be an odd town to grow up in.
Yeah?
I feel like there's not a lot of current things to do.
Yeah.
It's like you're automatically living in the past. Like around you. Like you have to.
Right.
You want to go to the pizza shop or you want to go to the Civil War reenactment? Like there's not a lot to do.
Yeah, there's no in between really. Later on, when you take a left, there's a couple of cool little places for beer and stuff.
I want to go, bro. I don't know if I even have a light. Sorry.
You're good. Gettysburg locals who are watching, comment below. What do you do that isn't Civil War related around here? Please let us know.
Our first stop was East Cemetery Hill, where on July 2nd, 1863, Union forces repelled a Confederate assault that reached the crest of this hill. Both flanks of the Union Army had been attacked and both had held despite losing ground. In a council of war, General Meade, anticipating an assault on the center of his line, determined that his army would stay and fight.
Oh my God, go. No, wait. Man, this is. No!
Ah. Army of the Potomac, 1st Corps, Artillery Bridge.
6 12-pounders, Lieutenant James Stewart commanding.
This battle was like a 3-day thing.
Right, right.
And, it doesn't seem like a lot of casualties, but there was a ton of casualties. It was like 50, I want to say 50,000+. I'll get the actual number.
Right. We'll throw it up on the screen.
Yeah. But during that time, it was nuts.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was an insane amount. So, over here at least in Gettysburg, the way the cannons are pointed is not just haphazardly. They actually mean something. The way they were firing, the way when their skirmishes took place, when their battles took place, that's the direction they're pointing. So, for instance, here we're in Cemetery Hill, right? You could see that this was like a fortification and that their cannons pointed in different directions.
Yeah, you see right there. Those cannons here pointed the which way, and versus this one.
Right, this way.
Those indicates what do those indicate again?
The direction.
Okay.
You can see that they pretty much had this whole ridge covered, fortified, looking down into the valley. It even goes all the way up there. All the way, I mean, we'll probably get to there at some point.
Yeah.
But they're firing down on this Cooper's Battery B. You have to be fucking suicidal. From down there, climb all the way up here, try to attack. Fucking cannons and muskets and shit. Like, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't pointed at nothing. I want to know how many, like, musket balls and cannonballs are stuck in that fucking tree right there.
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot. Yeah. Oh my God. Let's take a look at this guy. Who's this chap with the fine mustache on the fort?
It's all in the stash.
It's on the stack. Well, not just on the horse. Back then, the men had mustache too. God, King. Oh, did you know that General Custard played a key role in this battle? Same Custard that got killed by the Native Americans.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That same Custard played a key role in this battle. Don't know which one. I'll put it up there at some point.
General Custer's troops were instrumental in defeating the final Confederate charge led by Jeb Stuart. Custer's brigade lost 257 men, the highest number of any Union cavalry brigade at Gettysburg.
You know what's crazy, Spence? Look right there. You have the town, which placement hasn't changed that much. And then if you just pan this way, this was battlefield. This is just battlefield right here.
And after we were done with Cemetery Hill, we headed down to Spangler's Spring, where on July 2nd, 1863, around 7 p.m., Confederates attacked the right flank of the Union Army and occupied the lower slopes of Culp's Hill. The next morning, the Confederates were driven off after 7 hours of fighting.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Testicles.
Yep.
Dedicated to those Hoosiers who so nobly advanced freedom on this great battlefield.
What? You know what's crazy?
What's that?
You know how far Indiana is from here?
It's really far.
Like, people don't get that. People don't understand. We're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
There was no flights. You know,
It was on foot or
train. Like, my God, the logistics of this. You know, that's the thing. It's like it's like picturesque, serene nature, beautiful nature, beautiful outdoors. But for 3 days, right, in the 1863, July 1st, this was hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to wrap your head around, especially when you're just looking at it. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day.
Yeah, it's so serene right now.
Peaceful. Like a fall, autumn day to come to Gettysburg is definitely it. Because, I mean, beautiful scenery. It's nice temperature. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's a perfect fall day. But, I mean, 63, this was not where you want it to be. At all. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I mean, what happens is, like, you look at the terrain around us, right? And you have to think of the logistics. Like, you're carrying a cannon with wooden wheels. Then you're looking at wagon loads of cannonballs and munitions. There were no roads. There were probably paths. You know, best bet. I mean, how do you get movement of troops with its gear up and over these ridges with all, like, your horses, your, I guess, you would have horses or ox to carry to haul the wagons? Like, where do they go? There's rocks everywhere, dude. That's nuts. And on top of all that, you're just walking up here just to absolutely stand 100 yards away from someone that's about to shoot you. It's different, man. 552 men from Indiana were casualties. Every monument, every stop that we go on is going to be like this, just kind of somber.
Yeah, that's 100% a hearse right there.
Huh. Oh, you want to go check out Spangler Spring?
Sure.
Do a short for Howie?
Yeah.
All right, so at one point it had water.
Yeah.
Let's see if it has water now.
Water everywhere.
Yeah.
Not a drop to drink.
Spangler Spring.
Mm-hmm.
One country and one flag. The strife of brothers is past. What is it? This spring supplied Union and Confederate soldiers with water during the battle.
Looks pretty dry to me.
It's probably under that lockbox.
Yeah.
Is that where the Ninja Turtles hang out?
I think so.
My God.
Peter Parker's been known to come by a couple of times.
Yeah, wow, man. Damn.
So after Spangler Spring, we headed to Culp's Hill and the observation tower. Now, Culp's Hill was occupied by Union troops all 3 days of the battle and was a critical right flank of the Union defensive line at Gettysburg. At mid-morning on July 2nd, elements of the 12th Corps arrived to reinforce the hill, including the 1,400-man brigade of George S. Greene. That night, his New Yorkers successfully held off 4,700 Confederates and held the upper summit.
For anybody who's trying to climb up this thing, just be aware that you're gonna be out of breath really quickly, especially if you're two out of shape guys like the two of us. Just be prepared for that, especially on a cold day.
As we're up here, I was pointing out to Spence, from this vantage point, you can see different points of interest, such as Little Round Top, Plum Run, Warfield Ridge, the Peach Orchard, all of which played significant roles in this battle.
Some interesting houses right here.
Very timely. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's for, like, reenactment purposes.
Oh, it's a store.
Or that could just be Or that just could be Jim's house. He just happens to live in Gettysburg.
So after we left Culp's Hill Observation Tower, we headed to the Pennsylvania Memorial Site. Now that is where the Union artillery held the line on Cemetery Ridge late in the day as Meade called for infantry from Culp's Hill and other areas to strengthen and hold the center of the Union position. Now the Pennsylvania State Memorial is a monument in Gettysburg that commemorates the 34,530 Pennsylvania soldiers who fought in the July 1st to the 3rd, 1863 Battle of Gettysburg. The memorial stands along Cemetery Ridge in the Union battle line July 2nd, 1863, and it was completed in 1914, and it is the largest of the state monuments on the Gettysburg battlefield.
Okay, yeah, they're definitely a band.
Yeah,
Don't do it, bro.
that dude had a man bun that makes mine look tame.
I don't call yours a man bun. Yours is just long hair out of yours is long hair.
Yeah.
You move out of the way.
Right.
He actually took the time and care that it was in a bun.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I was like, is this a line? Like, get out of here. It's incredible. Look at these monuments, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like just talk about, pride and making sure people don't forget and putting money behind something the right way. This is it.
Right.
Look at this. The amount of statues and care that this place has dedicated to it is amazing. These Civil War statues are littered all over the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of seemingly nowhere, you'll find a Civil War statue.
Captain John C. Hazard. John G. Hazard or C?
G? I don't know.
G, I think.
So after we left the Pennsylvania Memorial, we finalized our Gettysburg tour with visiting the high water mark, which in July 3rd, 1863, late in the afternoon after a 2-hour cannonade, some 7,000 Union soldiers posted around the copse of trees, the Angle and the Bryan Farm, repulsed the bulk of the 12,000-man picket's charge against the Federal center. This was the climactic moment of the battle. On July 4th, Lee's army began retreating. Total casualties, killed, wounded, captured, and missing for the 3 days of fighting were 23,000 for the Union Army and as many as 28,000 for the Confederate Army. Now this marker is of Lewis Addison Armistead, Brigadier General for the Confederate Army. He was an integral part of Pickett's charge. Armistead led his brigade to the farthest point reached by the Confederate forces during the charge, a point now referred to as the high water mark of the Confederacy. However, he and his men were overwhelmed. He was wounded and captured by Union troops, and he died in a field hospital 2 days later. There's the Union line, I'm assuming. That statue right there. See where those cars are?
Yep. Oh yeah.
The reason I stopped is because I saw this dude. This dude, I don't know if you can see him with his rifle like that.
Yep.
And I'm like, it got like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because those weapons fired pretty slow. And when you're running and you're in those close quarters combat scenarios, fix bayonets and use it as a bat. That's how close they got. Hand to hand pretty much.
And that's where the term fixed bayonets comes from.
Yeah, scariest order to this date to ever hear. So I'm assuming this is where they pushed forward. This is the ground they had to cover. So literally, this is the left flank. And this was their, I guess, their line. This is them, and they had to push that way. But you know what, though? even on our channel, even on Embrace the Suck 21, we checked out World War I in no man's land, and that was a football field, and tons of people died in an amount of a couple football fields worth, even less than football fields worth. Again, I repeat myself, beautiful day, somber battlefield, amazing setting. I couldn't imagine being transported back to that time, knowing that my job is to go over there and pretty much kill my brother and another American right here. That's my job. God knows where I marched from. And it ended here in Pennsylvania. What are your thoughts, Spence, on this whole thing? I'll give you some FaceTime here.
Sure. I mean, I'm pretty much echoing your statements right here. To think how it's just so calm and peaceful and like just another day right now. Back in 1863, this was a bloodbath. Things like this really don't hit me until like a couple of days after just thinking about it in my head. But right now, I'm an absorber, just trying to absorb everything. The fact that we are, as a country, have decided to preserve this part of our history, I think it's a good thing to teach people what happened and to hopefully not repeat it again.
And I wanted to thank you for being the awesome cameraman. All this awesome B-roll and pretty much shooting this entire thing from the truck, shooting from the hip. and this is what it is. I really wanted to get this channel out, man. It's like so badly. This is what I want to do. Guys, we can do a lot more like this. This style, this stuff. We're surrounded by battlefields. This is, at least Rec Nation battlefields is what I would like to do.
Yeah, and my channel, SJ World, have vlogging camera, will travel.
Yeah. Make sure for all that everyday stuff and interesting stuff. Well, I'm not saying this is not interesting. This is interesting.
Definitely interesting.
But the not battlefield stuff.
Yeah.
Spencer's channel for sure. Entertain yourself. Also, this is, like you said, the perfect closing statement. It's a good reminder to have. The country has put money, lots of money, into securing this spot and making it pristine, making it walkable, so that people know what happened here, at least in Gettysburg and in a lot of the Civil War battlefields. It's a dark mark in our history, but it's important that we don't forget it.
100%.
And places like this, make sure that people can access this. It doesn't fade into obscurity.
Right, 100%. If you don't learn your history, you're bound to repeat it.
100%.
Yeah. We couldn't leave Gettysburg without getting a burger and a beer at Blue and Gray Bar and Grill. Y'all have got to check this place out. Some of the most delicious and creative burgers out there. The full review will be on my profile, Spencer Joyce's World. Go check that out if you are so inclined. For the citizens of Rec Nation and SJ's World and Embrace the Suck 21 sometime down the road, thanks for watching.
Yes, unplug and do something legendary, guys.
See y'all in the next one.
Later.